So, hey everybody, welcome back to some more daily casting practice for me. This is going to be a game from the Gigabyte Esports Dota 2 Tournament, or GEST. This is actually the Grand Finals, Orange versus MUFC. So MUFC going to be over on the dire side, Orange going to be on the Radiant side. As always, I'm Basskip, and as I mentioned, this is just a game for me as part of my daily casting practice sort of series. So this is just going to be a one-off. If there's some interest in me covering the rest of the games from this set, then I am willing to do so. But there was a bunch of other great casters covering this tournament as well. Gods was doing it. LD as well, I believe, was casting these grand finals. So there's plenty of other options if people want to watch the rest of these games. But if there is interest, I can cover the rest of the best of 5 as well. And that's about it. Somebody's disconnecting off right now, but Batride is going to be the first ban, and it's not whoever's drafting, so not a huge deal. As always, I guess, as I mentioned, or as I may or may not have mentioned, I'm casting Dota every single day, at least one replay, hopefully more. Hopefully doing some more from the Dota 2 Cast at subreddit. There's only about 100 people over there subscribed to that subreddit, so it's not really getting off the ground just yet, but I think if more casters knew about it, if more people knew about it, that they could post their replays and get them cast, then hopefully we'll get somewhere. So I guess I'll give another plug to that. But Nagas aren't actually going to be the first ban for MUFC. And I guess another note that's worth making is about players. So obviously on MUFC 10, that's Net, and over on Orange, the guy who is, I guess, Shrug emoticon, I think that is KYXY. So just gonna clear that up. But about the ban, we are playing in the 2-2 format, so I don't think anyone is playing. I don't know if you even can play anymore on the prior to 6.76 format in terms of 3 bans. So Orange, we'll have to see what they choose to ban out here. It's going to be the Rubik, maybe angling towards that TA with the Bat banned out, but TA is going to be locked out by MUFC. And I'm just going to adjust one thing, so sorry guys, you're going to get a quick look at my installed programs, and just jumping back. So Orange first pick, we have seen a lot of teams first picking the Jakiro of late, and sort of not really, I mean, no, Darkseer is there as well, but TA and Bat have sort of become reasonably staple bans. I feel that most other heroes, or at least the big standout ones from sort of the 6.75, 6.74 era, have sort of been bumped down a little bit. Invoker is now definitely sort of a more niche pickup, and leaving the Darkseer in the pool. Orange are gonna opt to pick that up with their first pick, but there's still a whole bunch of great heroes left in the pool for MUFC. And I've really loved watching, as I've mentioned before, the drafting in 6.76. It's really dynamic. There's hardly any wrong decisions. Every hero has a role, aside from a few weak ones here and there. But Jakiro and the Queen of Pains, Jakiro and the Queen of Pain are going to be the pickups for MUFC here. So grabbing an absolutely fantastic support in the Jakiro, probably the most popular support in the game right now, in the competitive scene at least. Ice Path is just absolutely huge. Landing a 4-man Ice Path is just great, and it's fairly reliable as well. It's not quite as difficult to land as, say, Split Earth. I mean, talking about Lashrak, he has been so popular, and probably only just slightly eclipsed now by Jakiro as sort of a hard support. And something like a Light Strike Array on the Lina, significantly more difficult to land, doesn't offer as much area denial, especially with the extra duration on the Ice Path where you can walk into it. It's basically just a more reliable Fisher. I've heard some people referring to it as such, and it's definitely true. Offers the same sort of area denial, great stun, and you can't quite miss with it the same way that you can with the Fisher. Big problem with the Fisher is that people can end up on the wrong side. One gripe to me, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but it often feels that in Dota 2, Fissures where I would be fairly sure that somebody would end up on the side that I wanted them to end up on in Warcraft 3 Dota, they sort of end up on the wrong side, I guess, in Dota 2. But Sven and Lena going to be the pickups by Orange, so some fairly aggressive setup from them. Sven Lena is a bit of a classic lane as well. I mean, Stormbolt straight into the Light Strike array. They've both got huge damage. Dragon Slave to follow up. And Lena, all around fairly good support. Does really well with levels as well. Could even hope to see her on that solo mid-roll. Once he gets up to level 6, the cooldown on the new Laguna Blade is absolutely ridiculous. 70, 60, 50. It does absolutely ridiculous damage as well. And it should, similar to sort of something like Bane's ulti, be a kill every single time it's up. So definitely great drafting there. So they've got the Darkseer, they've got the Sven, they've got 2 melee. Probably not going to be looking to pick up any more on that front. Darkseer probably going to be soloing that hard lane, so just Orange going to be looking for a mid right now, perhaps a jungler, or just someone to form up a bit of a tri lane, perhaps on bot. Darkseer could head towards the safe lane, go for an aggressive tri lane on top, but as always, whenever you're going for an aggressive tri lane on that hard lane, that really does determine the fate of your game without significant intervention from your mid. So Keeper of the Light actually going to be the ban out now by MUFC, maybe angling for a bit of a push here off the back of the Chen and the Jakiro. Liquid Fire, a little bit underestimated, at least in my mind, as a pushing ability. I mean, with Liquid Fire on a tower and a few Chen creeps there, it's going to be going down fairly quickly, and even if it's not going down quickly, those Chen creeps are just going to be able to tank for an eternity. So Orange actually banning out safe laners right now, and well, long lane solo in the Syllabear. And MUFC probably looking for that, given that they've got the Chen. He's going to be in the defensive jungle. Jakira's going to be accompanying whoever is up on that top lane, so would not be surprised to see Orange ban out something like the Windrunner as their last ban out here. And Tinker banned out now, so targeting that counter push. MUFC, interesting to see what they're going to be going for. And the Syllabear ban as well makes even more sense in the context of trying to ban out those big pushing heroes. The Bear does absolutely ridiculous damage to towers, especially if you put him in that safe lane. Can get a whole bunch of items up, can get a fairly quick radiance, can even go for a Maelstrom, sort of like the AOE 2000 build or the AUI 2000 build. Get some fast early game to mid game push up and just take those outer towers, especially with the Chen and the Jakiro, as I mentioned. But Orange, I think they're probably just going to be aiming for another long laner here. Probably expect to see the Beastmaster or the Windrunner banned out. Windrunner, as always, fantastic all around on that long lane. Beastmaster can stack up those Ancients, can recover fairly well, and does afford you that attack speed aura. But it's actually going to be the CK banned out here, so banning out what would have been the safe laner. So MUFC going to have a fairly good choice of long laners right now, and maybe going to see them ban out a mid as well. There's not a whole lot of mids left in the pool that can stand up against the Queen of Pain. She's just got such fantastic harass with the Sting, and such great rune control with the Blink as well. Great ganking damage with the Scream, and good teamfight as well with the Sonic Waves. So Enigma's actually going to be banned out here. So if Orange want to go for a jungler now, there's only really the Furion and the Enchantress left. Enigma would have worked out fairly well, especially given that they've got that Darkseer. So either they need to set up for a bit of a tri lane down on bot now, or pick up perhaps one of those slightly weaker junglers, I would say. I mean, the Enchantress, you sort of need to expend that early aggression, fairly early on, get those kills. But MUFC right now, they're angling for a long lane solo. So even if you can pick up a few kills, it's only on their long laner, who is going to be playing fairly defensive anyway against the Sven and the Lina. And it's not really going to make up for the fact that they're getting so much golden XP from the Chen, basically freeing up an entire lane there. So Puck is actually going to be the pickup for Orange to go on that mid lane, and I had forgotten about Puck. Fantastic counter, actually. Well, not counter, but a fantastic pick for mid against the Queen of Pain. It can avoid a lot of her damage, can avoid that Sting harass using the phase shift, and Queen of Pain does have a fairly exaggerated animation as well for that Sting, so it's fairly easy to dodge. It's a similar story for the TA. Poison Sting can be disjointed by going into meld, so that's one big advantage of having the TA on mid. So TA ban maybe making a little bit more sense in that context as well, leading into that Queen of Pain sort of first pickup for them. And Nakes is actually going to be the choice here by MUFC, so probably going to see him on that safe lane. All they need to do is to pick off someone to round off their lineup on that hard lane. Probably going to see either a Winner or a Beastmaster. Could even go for something a little bit unorthodox like the Magnus. Does fairly well on that lane as well, but it's going to need to be someone who can stand up against the chain stun. And Orange right now either going to be looking for a jungler or someone to join Sven and Lina down on that bottom lane, as Sven gets pretty much complete free farm. There's not a lot that barely any long laner could do against that combination to stop Sven getting all of that farm. So Orange, what is the choice going to be? Are they going to try and go aggressive early, maybe pick up the Enchantress? But it's going to be the anti-mage. So it's going to be a support Sven. He's not farming. He's not going to be the carry. So Sven and Lena are going to be the ones doing the driving back here on the bottom lane. And I guess anti-mage getting the farm. Probably not going to be seeing him in a supportive role. And it looks like Orange more than likely want to take this late. Between the Darkseer and the anti-mage, going to be looking to just get farm up on the AM. Rely on the Darkseer wall to be that big force late game. They don't have a whole lot of push. They've got some reasonable counter push in the Sven. Good chasing as well, obviously, with that Warcry. Puck fairly mobile as well. They've got the Surge. And I do appear to be having a few graphical glitches right now, guys, so sorry about that. I am on some beta drivers that I don't think I've updated in a little bit, so that may be the cause. Hopefully my graphics card not having any serious issues right now. And like I said, MUFC probably going to be looking for that hard lane solo right now, just debating what they want. Beastmaster, I mean, Nakes already has a lot of attack speed from the Rage anyways, so the Aura, not necessarily redundant, but probably not as helpful as it could be. Winner, fairly good tower pushing potential, good tower damage potential with the Focus Fire as well once she gets a few levels up in it. So either choice could be justified here, and I think it's just a question of taste right now. But MUFC, they could throw a curveball, they could go for something completely different. And it's actually going to be the Lich. So, are we maybe going to be no, it couldn't be a tri-lane, not with the Chen. So I guess Lich is just going to be the hard laner and trying to do what he can just to use that sacrifice on cooldown, shut down a little bit of Yamate's farm on that anti-mage down on the bottom lane, but hopefully going to see that Lich maybe with boots first, something along those lines, just try and keep him safe on that hard lane. And boots first and a salve, not a completely unheard of hard lane solo Lich build, and that is going to be played by Sharky this game. Could even be a long lane Queen of Pain. It's not obviously the best lane for her. She gets the levels, doesn't really get the farm, and she is an incredibly farm, well, at least to my mind, an incredibly farm dependent hero to sort of make it past that early game, because her nukes do cap out fairly early on. She doesn't really have that 1 or 2 shot potential that she has in the early game. But anyway, going to be getting underway with this game. So over on MUFC, we've got Sharky playing the Lich. Yep, with those boots first, so he's going to be on that long lane. We've got Ohio playing the Queen of Pain, so OHY. We've got Ken on the Lifestealer, and Stout and a QB picked up for him. We've got Ten or Net on the Jakiro, and that leaves Ling to play his Chen. Bassi already picked up, and an early smoke as well. Worth noting, over on Orange, we've got Ice playing the Laney. He's got sentries and some obs. We've got Shrug Emoticon, who is actually KYXY, playing the Darkseer. We've got Mushi on the Puck. We've got X, who's going to be playing X Extinct Die, or MMY, whatever you want to call him. He's on the Sven, and that leaves Yamate to play this anti-mage. And we've got a little bit of a jungle invasion going on right now by Orange on level 1. Ken's going to retreat up into the trees, and Net trying to keep an eye on things. Ice Path already picked up. We've got a ward already down, keeping an eye on things right now, but not blocking out any camp. So just going to be keeping an eye on the small camp, keeping an eye on the movements of the Chen, and probably just going to be trying to keep KYXY safe up on this top lane. He's got 3 clarities picked up, so looking to do quite a bit of harassing with that Ion Shell, and maybe realizing it's not going to be a very quick soul ring for him up on this lane. And Sentry, Okay, that's an observer, but it's got the wrong skin. That's an Necronomicon Archer, so this is an older replay, I'm gonna say. Or I'm just getting some strange bugs. Same deal with the towers. This one is just a circular dot instead of the correct box. But anyway, we will live. We will go with it. And so Ohio are going to get that first creep denied by Sharky on the middle lane. A little bit of a help for him up against Mushi on the puck. So that's one creep worth of experience. It means that he gets to level 2 slightly faster. And if if last hits and denies are even, then he's going to stay slightly ahead throughout the game, and at least throughout the laning phase, at least once kills start rolling. And Sharky not actually opting to head down towards the bottom lane just yet. Looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of duo jungling with the Chen, so just completely leaving that long lane for now. So Yamate going to be getting complete free farm, probably just going to stick the creep wave right in place and farm that up. And actually X and Ice going to be just stacking up these camps right now. Not quite getting the stack off on that one. That one was successfully stacked. And not quite for that one either. I think they were trying to go for the double stack there. And then also X going for that one. But X is just going to pull through to the lane right now. And Lena and Sven just going to be getting their XP that way. And Lena may be sharing a little bit of the lane XP with the anti-mage. But it is going to be a support Sven this game. He's already got an early smoke with the seed picked up as well. And with the silence on the puck, there is some kill potential on this mid lane up against the Queen of Pain. And Mushi just going to be spamming that no mana cost phase shift now just to avoid a ton of damage on this middle lane. And again, Queen of Pain fairly obvious when she's going for that Shadow Strike, so should be able to dodge that fairly reliably. But again, a little bit of an advantage just from Sharky coming in for these denies. Ohio is already up to level 3 while Mushi is still just sitting back at level 2. He's only 2 for 1. And Quap getting this early Mantle and Challenge plus the 3 GG branches has significantly better, well actually significantly better, but slightly better base damage, and just last hitting and denying a little bit better right now, so getting a little bit ahead on this middle lane, and gonna be a little bit closer to the bottle as well. And Mushi opting for a circlet and 4 branches, so and avoiding the harassment there, but whenever he uses the phase shift he has to back off to avoid the sting, because he can't dodge both the auto attack and the sting in a row. Gonna pick up a few last hits with that Illustrator, but nothing too interesting happening here just yet. Sharky has now headed down to this bottom lane. He's got 1 observer in his inventory, but not brave enough to try and head in and block off anything. Would just be instantly chain stunned and killed off. So maybe just gonna stack up some ancients as well, bank up a little bit of XP for later in the game. It does help out the Nakes a little bit, but he doesn't have the fastest way to clear it in the entire world. And Darkseer right now, he's actually leaving leaving top lane as well. Looks like he might have been just pulling a little bit into the, pulling on mid just a little bit. Hasn't actually cleared out the trees to pull a small camp. And that could be a way for him to sort of swing the mid lane back in Mushi's favor. Mushi gonna get his bottle dropped off now. And Ohio also has his. So expect a little bit of harassment to be traded back and forth, and well, whoever sort of strikes the first blow starts to get their spells off earlier. Going to be in the better position. Ohio getting fairly low here, but he's getting this thing off as well. Now forced to blink back. He's still got the salve. Mushi, 3 bottle charges for him, but probably coming off a little bit better from that exchange, because Ohio's going to have to bottle up more of his mana. If he uses that last sip, he's going to cap out. And looking to contest the 4-minute urn. Mushi now heading up. And Troll Trap coming down, Ling protecting the 4-minute rune, but it actually does spawn bot, so X gonna spot that out. Mushi gonna take some harassment and maybe gonna have to bottle crow. Turning around now, gonna Illusory Orb, get a little bit more damage off before he's forced to use that charge. He's getting nuked in fact and not able to get that bottle sip off. So probably just gonna have to head back to base, and that is a big win for Ohio on this middle lane. He's gonna get up to level 6, while Mushi is still only going to be level 4. Using that Illusory Orb just to get back that little bit quicker, and can't afford a TP scroll as well, so gonna be getting back there fairly quickly. But Ohio looking very convincing on this middle lane, and both safe lanes slash hard lane carry pretty much getting complete free farm. Orange coming, well, KYXY coming in now, but able to get away from the open wounds fairly easily, so just forcing out the surge there, but low cooldown, not going to be all that concerned. And Sharky now here on mid, they're looking to shut down Mushi, and that does mean that they're giving, well, Yamate 100% free farm. I mean, Darks are able to disrupt things a little bit up on this top lane. Not really going to be getting into denies, and here's the smoke from Net and Ling. They're wrapping around, and KOXY is already very low, walking straight into the wall and going to be popped by the Chen. So that is first blood for Chen. Getting fairly close to his arcane boots as well, so he's going to be fairly happy with that. And was a little bit active, scouting out the rune and trying to shut down Mushi. And speaking of Mushi, he's in trouble, just going to be able to dodge that scream using the Illusory Orb and the Jaunt. So able to make it out there, but Sharky is really just sitting on top of him on this middle lane. And Puck still level 4. He was there, about a minute and a half ago. And we've got Nat coming all the way around. Was there a Radiant Ward to spot him out? Depends on the path that he took, but Mushi needs to be extremely careful. And Net already with some boots up as well. Mushi not having a fun time at all on this middle lane. And now we've got KOXY back in the jungle, just going to get one stack off. Now going for the small camp, deciding that it doesn't want to deal with what's happening up on that top lane. And the 6-minute rune has just spawned. It's a regen, it's up top, but Net and Link, they're maybe looking to loop around here. Net is still just sitting back behind this tower, but Ice comes in to try and help. Ward's going to go down, scouting out some action up on here, so Ice will be spotted out. And Sharky still just camping out on this middle lane. Ice is actually going to spot out Net, but the Chen creeps are here as well. He's going to be picked off. Ohio goes into the trees, however. He does have that regen, and going to get chopped out. And that's just one kill to swing. Net comes in. Ice Path not going to land, but there's 4 heroes going for Mushi. He's going to be able to get out. No, Sonic Wave is going to land. He's going to be picked off as well. And Net still just tanking the creeps back behind this tower. Not a whole lot they can do. Here comes the dive again. Ice Path going to land. Net still a long way back here. And it's going to be another kill going the way of MUFC. 4-0 the swing right now and able to pick off KYXY. And just leaving Ken completely free farming up on this top lane as well. So doing extremely well. And gold and XP probably heavily in their favor right now. Over 2k XP, 2k gold. And fairly significant for only 7 minutes in. Mushi is getting extremely shut down on his Puck right now. And X up to level 4. Not a whole lot that he can do. They've still got that smoke, so that's probably 1 kill. But it's looking like a tower going down up on this top lane. It's not a huge loss aside from the gold. And KOX are going to be looking to see what he can do. Going to spot out Ling and Net. Probably just back off for now. Pop off the fortification. Buy a little bit of time, but it's not going to be all that much. Double level 3 Iron Shell. Cleaning things up just a little bit, but the tower more than likely going to be taking a fall here. Ken just tanking the Iron Shell off to the side while the Chen creeps do their job. Ice is going to come up as well. He's still only level 3 on this Lena, and there's not a lot that they can do to contest this tower. And X actually going to spot out an Invis rune, maybe going to head towards mid, but Sharky is still just camping out here. So Ohio getting some great farm, already got his treads. He's got that bottle as well, and a magic wand finished up. And just a little bit behind these safe lane farmers. But with 1 kill and 2 assists, his net worth is going to be fairly good. But X is here with the Invis, gets the stun, Illusory Orb as well. Mushi going to be able to pick up that kill, and that is going to get him back into this middle lane. And even with that death, should be fairly close on levels now. Yep, Queen of Pain just barely level 8. And Mushi now up to level 7, going to be getting probably 1 more wave before the Queen of Pain respawns, so that should even things up just a little bit. And Puck extremely level dependent, even more than the Queen of Pain, really needs to get points up in the Waning Rift and the Illusory Orb, while Queen of Pain probably just looking more for 1 or 2 ranks in Blink, the 1 point in the Sting, and then maxing out the Scream of Pain. And Puck, again, really needs to be above the level of the opponents to be able to pick them off. And this Lich is already getting reasonably tanky. He's got that Urn of Shadows picked up. 740 HP on a level 5 Lich. Not all that bad. And Net, this is a very, very rich Jakiro. Look at that, 1.6k gold. He has been in a bunch of kills and actually picked up a kill himself. Roaming around the map perfectly and camping out behind this tier 1 tower on mid. Got them a whole bunch of kills. So, great work there. Mushi's going to come back towards middle lane. He's picked up a Smoke of Deceit as well, so maybe going to be looking to try and grab a kill on one of these side lanes. Sharky probably going to be going down regardless if some of these stuns connect on bot, so that might be a kill for Yamate. So Mushi not quite sure where he's going to be able to gank right now, but as the push sort of comes from MUFC, we will have to see if he can find his pickoffs. And speaking of smoke, Ling and Ken both smoked up, wrapping around behind. Is KYXY going to be trying to go for the creep wave? He's considering it. He's putting down the iron shell. He's walking forward. This is the go. In comes Ken. In comes Ling. They need these troll traps to connect. The slow, the surge, the troll trap lands. Here comes the second trap. Is it going to be enough? They're diving a long way into this tower. Stick charges pop to the Chen nuke and the right click. Just a little bit too much. So KYX are going to take another fall there. And MUFC swinging their lead back out to 4 kills. Just going to switch over to net worth since we are past 10 minutes. A little bit more instructive. Especially with the junglers in the game like Chen. Does slightly misrepresent the score. X smoked up behind this bottom tower and looking for this kill on Sharky. They're going forward with the Warcry, but Ten's going to spot them out. He lands the Ice Path. Yamate comes forward, but Ice is going to be the one who's picked off first. Tries to get the Light Strike Array off. Does get it. Stun stacking here. Hand of God going to pop, however, and X is now picked off as well. Looks like Yamate might be going down as going down too. It's 3 deaths for Orange. MUFC turning that around perfectly. And what was looking like a very promising gank all of a sudden went south. And Mushi on mid trying to do a little bit of pushing. Tower down to about half HP, but income MUFC. And probably going to be looking to push this advantage that they've already got up. And 10, well, Net looking to pick up a very early Veil of Discord. And going to be doing some huge damage, comboing that with the Queen of Pain and his own abilities. He's already got that point up in the macro pyre. And at this point in the game with, the fairly slow heroes on Orange like the Sven and the Lina going to be taking quite a bit of damage from that, and especially the Sonic Wave and the Scream of Pain. And Lina still doesn't have boots. Ice has enough for them now. It's going to be a bit of a go on mid, but Ohio just going to choose to break out of the Dream Coil and kill, not going to connect. So Mushi now doing okay on farm, and so Queen of Pain just gonna find a regenerator. But heard the Light Strike Array go off, thought something interesting might have been happening, but no, Ice is just jungling up the small camp. So that's absolutely fine. In terms of late game prospects right now, I do think you sort of have to give it to Orange between the Anti-Mage, the Sven, who can sort of carry up a little bit if he starts to get some farm, and the Darkseer. But Darkseer has been shut down fairly heavily, so Radiant really relying on the jungle right now. And if this tier 1 goes down, they effectively lose control of these 3 camps, so probably going to have to be fairly careful to defend that on the bottom lane. And looks like Net and Ohio have their sights set on this tower, and looks like Ohio either going for the Aghanim Scepter or just a very early BKB to avoid the chain stun, to avoid the silence. So either way, good choice. They're not doing a whole lot of counter pushing, so the lower cooldown on the ultimate not going to be a huge deal, and probably would be able to finish the Aghanim Scepter long before level 16. Mushi and X now looking for a kill again on Sharky on mid, but the TP support might come in. Sharky, here goes the stun. Mushi comes in, but the TP support is immediate. In comes Net. Looks like Sharky getting be picked up. The Illusory Orb is there. Hand of God not quite there in time. Mushi and X now walking through the macro pyre, and Darkseer's KYXY actually going to be picked off by Ohio there, and Warcry down now. X and Ice gonna have to walk Ice doing the long walk to freedom. He's still got boots, but he's gonna walk straight into lane. He's gonna be picked off, probably just looking to buy some time here. And yep, team gonna back off, so realizing that he's dead, just gonna chop away through the trees, maybe try and deny himself to some neutrals, but hadn't spawned, so he's gonna be going down. So 2 for 1 actually the trade there, and only picking up the Lich, not giving away the Darkseer one more time, and Ice forced to die. So 0-3-0 for the Lina and 0-4-0 for the Darkseer, and definitely not doing as well as he would have hoped, and does mean that he's not going to get any of those core support items up for his team. Mech is going to be a long way away, or the pipe, and they definitely need both of them, especially from the huge AoE magic damage that's coming out with this Veil of Discord almost finished up on Net. And Orange, they are definitely on the back foot right now. Support's not in a good state. Yamate, how is his farm going? He's actually heading towards a Battle Fury, so again, Orange aiming towards the late game sort of as their insurance right now. They're doing a good job of holding onto their towers, but look at this push death ball from Ling. They are going to take this tier 1 sort of whether Orange wants it or not. In comes the defense. Darkseer Iron Shell is going to be spammed out in just a second. 4 heroes here on the mid lane. AoE spam just going to go out to keep the creeps off this tower. But Ling still has his 3 big creeps, can start that skeleton army at a moment's notice, and Ken probably going to be just putting some pressure up on this top lane. He's already got a Midas and an Armlet, and maybe just going to try and force out a TP up on top, and as soon as one hero leaves down here, expect the push to just roll in through mid. Here comes the TP support. It's actually Yamate, so trying to keep these 4 heroes on mid. Now Ohio down towards bot, just going to probably try and push this wave out, put some pressure on the tier 1, and the split pushing doing great work for MUFC, and Ken almost spotting out and killing off that courier there, getting off 1 auto attack but not able to finish it, so well microed there. And a smoke out from Orange right now. They're gonna get that stun up. Are they gonna get the follow-up stun? The rage isn't there just yet. Ken might be picked off. He pops the omelet, he pops the rage, he's going for X. The right click might be enough. Hand of God on top as well. Good search away by KYXY. Ken now gonna jump inside the Jakiro. Ice Path is gonna land on ice, and he is gonna be picked off there. Ken not able to pick up the kill with the AoE damage of jumping out of the Jakiro, but it's a kill all the same, and Ken survives a 3-man gank. And with Lina dead, not sure if the Radiant are going to be able to hold onto this tower. Net deciding that he just wants to sit back between the 2 towers, tanking up the creep wave for now. In comes the Chen creeps, and up come the skeletons as well. Looks like it's going to be a tier 1. A little bit of AoE spam flying through from the puck. Fortification going to pop off as well. In comes KYXY. He's going to get the Iron Shell off as well, but the range creep is just, well, the melee creep, sorry, mega range creep. According to the name, is the deny going to be there? Not quite. Mushi not able to find it. Just going to perfectly dodge that ice path there. Well played by him, and unfortunate that he couldn't get the deny, but Ohio are going to be picking that up. That's already his BKB finished. MUFC are a long way ahead in this game, but still haven't clinched it yet. They still haven't claimed a single tier 2 tower. And anti-mage, the anti-fun, Yamate continues to farm. So they do have that late game there. And X and Ice still getting some levels, still getting some farm from the jungle, so making good use there. And this is definitely a supportsman. He's picked up some mana boots, so just looking to help out his team there. We're probably not going to see him getting any damage items unless this game starts to get out towards the 45-minute or the hour mark. So just going to be probably maxing out the Warcry from here. The armor is going to be reasonably helpful. I mean, there is a little bit of right click on the Nyx, on the Queen of Pain, and fairly good for kiting the Nyx as well. I mean, there are some slows. There are not that many stuns aside from the Ice Path over on MUFC, so kiting the Nyx, who is getting extremely farmed, is going to be fairly important. And looks like he may actually be heading... Oh, shoot, sorry guys. Missing a kill down on bot. Ice going to be picked off in the side shop there. And looks like it might have been a bit of a smoke gank. Lin coming in now from the back. That kill already picked up. And Sharky heading towards a Force Staff now. Going to help against the kiting that the Radiant are going to be trying to do against the Nyx. And again, looks like it's going to be a tier 1 picked up for free. Down on bot. Looks like Orange were trying to trade on mid. The creep wave's coming in now, but Ling is coming around from the back. Mushi going to pop out the double damage turn. They really, really want this tower, but they're about to get backstabbed. Are they going to at least be able to pick this up? No, the TP support is going to come in. Mushi wants to stay here. He's going to actually be able to pick that up. Illusory John up onto the high ground. Ohio comes in, and there's the Iron Shell on Mushi trying to get out. TP's going to pop off, realizing that there isn't another stun. Ice Path used. Going to be able to make their way home. Out comes the Lich ultimate. Is it going to finish off X? They need one more Urn Charge. Does have it. Chucky going to eat that. X trying to get out now. Is he going to be able to TP home? Yes, he is. So Orange actually in the end pick up that tower with no casualties. Well played by them. They do lose a tier 1 on bot, however, but it's a tower for a tower trade with no kills, even after they were getting looped around on by the Chen and the Queen of Pain. So in the end, those TPs do work extremely well, and MUFC, the one weakness of their lineup is that their only 2 ways to really cancel a TP are the Ice Path, and if they want to use it, the Chain Frost on the Lich. It does have a mini stun on that first throw, so can't cancel off those TPs, even through BKB. But and how is the farm going? KYXY, we really need to keep tabs on the status of this pipe. That is going to be their saving grace in these team fights against the Veil of Discord, against the Sonic Wave, which is now level 2 as well. And with that Veil of Discord, it is probably doing damage that is looking to one-shot Lina. I mean, 475 minus magic resist plus the bonus. That is pretty much all of her health, especially with a Scream of Pain on top. Yamate up on his top lane. He's actually opted to pick up a Vlad's here. So looking to maybe just do a little bit of counter pushing with that, maybe a little bit of pushing of their own, but not going to be heading towards the Bantha style, as sort of is the standard build, but going to be TPing down towards spot. There is a little bit of farm here for him, and with that spell shield, doesn't need to be all that worried about the Queen of Pain, just going to man up on her there. And Mushi now stuck in the side. He's actually managed to farm up a blink, so not doing too badly, especially after that sort of shaky start that he had on mid. And now again, just going to TP back. There's 4 heroes formed up with all of these chain creeps. They want this tower. And Lizard Orb going to fly through, maybe cleaning up a bunch of their skeletons. That Centaur Outrunner is fairly low. Mech's going to pop off to keep him alive. There's still the rank 1 Hand of God there, if Ling really wants to hold on to these creeps, but more than likely going to be holding on to for the team fight. KOX are going to grab an Iller Rune and just throwing out those 2 Darkseer illusions with the Ion Shells, able to stop this push for at least a few seconds as the rest of his team get into position. And X now in from the sidelines. Ice as well, he's got the Laguna Blade. That's big damage. They might be able to pick off Net right off the bat. Here we go. Chainstone to follow up. There goes the Hand of God, able to keep him alive for now. Does that manage to get the Veil of Discord off? Ice going to be able to TP home one more time. Ohio looking for him. But again, TP's just saving lives for Orange right now. Not sure if they're going to be able to contest this tower, though. Yamate is doing a bit of pushing down on bot at the same time. So Ken TP's back in. The push is going to keep going, however, for MUFC up on this top lane. Tier 2 still on full HP. Fortification pops. KYXY back behind the lines. And now going for a little bit of a backstab, getting some good damage on Tem, but Sharky and Ling are still here. But Mushi comes in as well. Ling taking some big damage. Mech has already been popped. Yamate is going to pop him with that ultimate. Now going on Sharky. Macropyre is down. Mushi trapped by the Troll Trap. Look at that Chain Frost bounce, picking up 2 kills there. KYX right now on their tree, but more Troll Traps to land. In comes Yamate. He wants Net. He's going to get that kill. Double kill for the Anti-Mage. And the Chain Creep as well. Just does not care about the magical damage and continues to man up right now. And again, the Anti-Mage is really going to be their saving grace here. He's just going to get a little bit more farm, does not care about the Queen of Pain in the slightest, just life stealing away there. So in the end, 3 for 2 the trade was looking a little bit more promising as Mushi came in, but getting locked down there with the Troll Trap stuck in the Macropyre with the Veil of Discord on top, just taking too much damage to live. And Ohio, he's got that BKB finished up, still got the 10-second duration available on that. And Ken as well, he's got that Black King bar. And with that and the Rage, he's got Rage into BKB, back into the Rage pretty much. And it does mean that he's magic immune for almost 20 seconds that first time around. So that is a huge amount of damage that he's able to output. Obviously, Yamate able to get around a bit, and we did talk about the move speed from the Warcry, able to kite just a little bit, but Lich just got this Force Staff. Obviously can't Force Staff the magic immune Nigs, but can Force Staff people out of position. And Mushi, he's fairly slippery as well. Sharky gonna come forward, goes for the nuke, but Fuck able to just blink his way home there, so Mushi not in big trouble. But this Lifestealer is getting very farmed, and he's gonna have another big damage item coming up fairly soon. And MUFC have still not looked at Roshan. They've managed to take the tier 1 mid, and that is the only tower that the Radiant really have to look at this Roshan pit. So, yeah, Mushi actually suspects it right now. He's going to throw the Illusory Orb, but with the Chen creeps in here, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to contest this. They've got 3 heroes on mid. Yamate obviously has a TP up on top. He's going to try and kill, well, just harass back Ohio for now. And they're actually going to spot out Net. Here goes the Hand of God, but not enough. And the Gem of True Sight is dropped, but Sharky's actually going to be able to pick that up, so not able to grab that in the end. And it could have been a big boon, 1400 gold swing for Mushi, well, good for Orange. And Mushi now on their retreat. How low is Roshan? Very low right now. We're able to pick up that Jakiro, but not sure if they're going to be able to contest this. KOI Hexy, he still wants to. He's actually got that hood, and he's very close to the pipe again. As I said, we had to keep an eye on that, and he is getting fairly close. And Roshan is going to fall, so a little bit of an advantage in the hands of the Dire side right now. But tier 2 on top, taking a little bit of damage. Yamate continues to be annoying up here. He's got the Yasha picked up as well, and able to split push fairly well on this Anti-Mage. There isn't really the lockdown to kill him off without a whole bunch of troll traps, which there are now, so Ling doing a good job there. Yamate gonna have to be reasonably careful, but there isn't really a reliable silence like the Orchid or the Guinsoo to counter him just yet. But speaking of Guinsoo, Ohio, he is now farming one up, so he's got that ultimate orb and 2.4k gold, so he is getting fairly close, and that can sort of spell the end of Yamate's split pushing. He's just going for Ken right now and backing off, but in comes the troll traps. He needs to be careful. Probably just going to blink down onto the low ground, and actually just continues to blink in jungle for now. And Manta style dropped off at the moment, so he's able to Manta, I believe, out of the net, so a fairly reliable way for him to escape that. He's not going to be able to escape that Guinsoo or the Hex once it's up on the Queen of Pain, but does still have a little while to be able to split push. And Yamate going to be spotted out by Net and Sharky. Ice Path not going to connect on him, and again there isn't enough chain stun to bring this anti-mage down. And without the right click from the Nakes, they don't really have the damage to do it either. MUFC very, very reliant on their magical damage right now to pick up those kills between the Chain Frost, the Macro Pyre, and all of the Queen of Pain's damage. And looks like it's decided that they want this tier 2 up on top one more time, but Orange moving into position to defend, doing fairly well. And X, 1.2k gold, not all that rich right now. And Yamate obviously leading the way with farm, but MUFC with all these towers picked up, close on their heels. Mid tower actually managed to pick, Yamate managing to pick that one up, so Anti-Mage continues his split pushing campaign all across the map. Gold in the pockets of Orange, and it is getting them back into this game right now. It's still really anyone's game, and that pipe is now up on the Darkseers, so all of a sudden these supports like the Lina and the Sven looking a lot tankier than they were just a little while ago. The Lina still only 760 HP, hopefully going to be seeing maybe a Bracer, maybe a Naked Cloak, something like that, just to help out. And Lifestealer now with the Skull Basher actually picked up, and KOXI with a little bit of a cheeky play, vacuuming the Jakiro up onto the high ground, but just force staffing him down. And Yamate finish off almost the last outer tower. There still is a tier 2 up on top, but this anti-mage is getting very, very rich. 3.1k gold, can head towards that BKB, or even start looking towards a heart if that's what he wants to go for. I mean, Abyssal Blade as well, going to be fairly helpful. Bash plus the ability to go through the BKB / the Rage, but no, actually going to pick up the Reaper here, so Heart is going to be the choice. Slightly tankier illusions, even better right click from those illusions surviving on heroes like the Jakiro. And there's another smoke gank by MUFC. They've connected almost all of them so far. Gonna get a ward down for now, keeping an eye on this middle lane, sort of declaring their next target. It is this mid tier 2. Probably gonna put some pressure on the tier 2 up on top, but realizing that Orange are not gonna throw away a lot just to hold onto that tower. Probably not gonna pop the fortification, though we will have to see. And again, Orange now pulling ahead in terms of towers. They've still got all their tier 2s up, with only the one tier 2 up on top left for MUFC. Ohio's now going to finish up that Scythe device, so keep an eye out for that. And actually a kill up on top. Ken getting a solo kill on, well, maybe some lucky bashes. Able to pick off Mushi there solo. Did not expect that. And TP coming in, not actually cancelled. Yamate comes in. He wants Ken. Right clicking away. Now forced to blink out. Ice Path is actually going to connect. He does have a blink in just a second, but here comes the chain troll traps. One more trap. Is it there? Yamate just says, no, I'm going to kill off your creeps. And now the tower is the target. In comes the defense. But the tower is getting extremely low. Ken and Yamate just trading blows, but Ken still has that Aegis. Yamate actually transferring the Chain Frost back to his team. He's hexed up. That's the very first use of that hex. Ice is going to be picked off as well. This is a huge team fight for MUFC. Ice actually opting to pick up a Ghost Scepter, but that's even more magical damage for the Queen of Pain. Sonic Wave going to fly over the top. It is going to hit on X, and he had that Veil of Discord up as well. He's going to go into the Ghost Scepter as well. Ohio just right-clicking onto Mushi while silenced there, and just blinking out of the Dreamcoil range. Ken fairly low, but still has that Aegis up, so just going to be right-clicking on the tower. Fortification now forced out, but Yamate is dead for 45 seconds. Ice going to be up in just a second, but the tower is at least going to fall. Probably going to see a barracks here as well. There is a little bit of push happening down on bot, but here comes the pressure on the racks. Yamate is not up. They've got a rank 1 wall. In comes the vacuum, plus the stun, doing good damage. Mushi jumps in, but he's getting hexed up. He might be picked off before he can even do anything. Will be going down. That Hex just doing so much work for MUFC right now, and going to be able to pick up this Rex, and don't even really have to back off. The Darkseer is down. The wall now expiring. It's only a rank 1 wall, and they do have a tier 2 to push through on mid and on bot, so probably just going to back off here. Do manage to pick up the range Rex, going for some more kills in fact, and X just stuck on the edge of that stun. He's going to get popped by the magical damage from that Lifestealer ultimate, and is amplified by the Ghost Scepter. In comes Yamate. He wants that kill, but not quite enough damage from the Mana Void. He's still chasing now. Blinks forward, looking for Ken, looking for Net. Is able to pick up that kill, in fact, but now stunned up. Is he going to get bashed? Had he been bashed, that probably would have been his death. Extremely ballsy play by Yamate there. But in the end, able to pick up a kill. And going to continue farming. Up on this Anti-Mage, almost up to his heart. Makes him a little bit more survivable, but as we saw in that last fight, while the Anti-Mage and the Puck are extremely mobile, this Hex is just doing absolutely fantastic work. And now a Demon Edge picked up by Ohio. He is looking for some damage now, and probably either going to be heading towards an MKB just to try and help siege up those towers, or I mean, if they manage to pick up the next Aegis, maybe go for a Rapier, fully man-moded up, but probably not going to be seeing that. Anyway, up on top, Yamate continues the split push, but again, needs to be extremely wary of the Scythe device. Can see that the Queen of Pain is down on bot, and with that Abyssal Blade picked up as well, that's another reliable stun for MUFC to help and lock down these really slippery heroes like the Anti-Mage, like the Puck. And so that maneuverability not doing as much as it was just a few minutes ago. And Sharky now with the Sanj picked up. This is one hella tanky Lich. And Yamate taking a little bit of harassment. Mushi is up here as well, using both of their fairly mobile heroes just to try and split push a bit, try and pick up that last tier 2 tower. But they really do not want to throw away anything for that. And again, Force Staff picked up on net. Good maneuverability against these maneuverable heroes. And here comes the next bomb. They're going for X. They're going to get that kill almost instantly before TP support can even start thinking about coming in. Yamate now TP's down to clean up the creep wave, but the damage has already been done. And again, there is the lockdown to kill off the Anti-Mage between the Hex and the Abyssal Blade. Mushi needs to be fairly careful, already using that blink. Illusory Orb on cooldown as well. KYXY now trying to run out. He's going to try and TP home, but the bash is too much, and the Chain Frost canceling that off. And Ken actually using the Abyssal Blade there. Mushi now trapped out. Is he going to be able to Illusory Orb away? Does manage to make it. Can he TP home? They are looking for him. Ohio just gonna blink the wrong way. Did have the Hex up available, or Hex available as well, so could have spotted him there had he gone that way. But Mushi actually gonna be able to make his way home, and the Hand of God gonna pop off as well. Chen now picking up the Aghanim Scepter, so doesn't care. He's only got a 30-second cooldown on that, and expect to see a lot of spam coming out as well. Maybe even just gonna sit in base so he can maintain that. And using the Chen creeps on mid, just microing them up. So Ken armlet up, right-clicking away in the tower. Ohio is actually going to be able to pick that up. He is extremely rich. Going to be able to look towards crit or that Monkey King bar in just a second. Going to be showing which way fairly soon, or maybe just saving for buyback. Still playing it fairly safe. I mean, they've got a ridiculous kill lead. I hazard to look at the golden XP. Radiant did manage to swing it up there as they started to pick up towers, but back over 10k in favor of the Dire right now. And the Radiant Courier going down as well. Looks like Yamate maybe trying to get something delivered there. Looks like it was actually picked up on the way back. He has picked up his Heart of Taras. And 15k the XP lead as well. MUFC are looking to be in a good way right now. And look at this Lich. He is just so rich. Had he not picked up that Sanj, he could almost be to a Hex right now. But needs the tankiness. Can pick up the Halberd fairly soon as well, if that's what he wants, to help lock down the Anti-Mage. And for basically nullifying all of the Anti-Mage's farm just with a fairly cheap item. And I mean, there's no way for Yamate to get rid of that right now either. I believe the Manta Style split might remove it, but he's going to be looking to use that fairly early on in the fights. So if the Heaven's Halberd can pick off the real Anti-Mage, then he is going to be in big trouble. And again, Monkey King Bar now picked up on the Queen of Pain. She still got that Scythe device. And MUFC playing it safe, waiting around for the next Roshan. They're going to be able to pick this up and expect probably a game-ending push fairly soon. What level is the Darkseer wall right now? Almost level 3 wall. It is currently level 2. He's almost got a mech up as well. Mech actually finished. So good supportive items for KYXY, but he needs to be extremely careful not to be picked off in these fights. If he is the first target, then he's going to be forced to blow the mech without getting any of the bonus healing for his team. And the pipe as well, not really going to be protecting against that AoE damage if he's forced to pop it early. So his positioning is going to be extremely crucial in these fights. Also needs to get off a great wall. If they can combo up the vacuum plus the Sven stun into the Lena stun with the wall on top, they've got good damage, they've got the clearing potential. And there's the Battle Fury on the anti-mage as well, but they're going for a fairly aggressive smoke right now. And they're not going to be able to do anything that's going to force MUFC back. They're now scrabbling just to try and get back towards their middle lane. There's 1 or 2 more creep waves to come for MUFC. Their creep wave lagging behind just a little bit right now, but in comes the smoke gang from the side. One hero immediately picked off. There is not going to be a Veil of Discord. The wall is down. KYXY now on the retreat. He's popped the mech. He's popped the pipe. He's trying to get out. He's popped the surge. In comes Yamate. He's looking for Ken. The Dream Coil is down, but the Abyssal Blade is still up. Out comes the BKB. Yamate getting chain stun. That was the Abyssal Blade used. In comes Ohio. He's already used that Gwinsu X trying to do whatever damage he can. Hiding now. Is there some more magical damage? There is enough. Ken gonna pop out using that ultimate. So 2 for 1 the swap right there. And Yamate comes in. Gonna be able to pick that up. But killing off the Queen of Pain and did have that Aegis. So just the Aegis used there for the Mana Void. But KYXY able to survive, picking off the Jakiro. Actually a really big pickup. I don't believe that the Veil of Discord went off before that, so saving is Orange saving their team a lot of damage there. And Yamate gonna be looking to finish up probably his last item slot fairly soon. Gonna be sacrificing the Town Porter Skull for that as well. Unfortunately, he picked up the Vlads instead of one of the supports like the Sven. So he does have to hold on to that, and really means that he can't cap out his inventory sort of in the same way. Probably going to see a Butterfly coming up for him as that next sort of item to try and stand up against the snakes, but he's going to be able to forward an MKB fairly soon as well if that's what he wants. And with the lockdown from the Abyssal Blade as well, Antimate just not going to stand a chance against that. This is a free farmed Nyx in his prime, no deaths, 6 kills, 5 assists. And Ohio actually going to be spotted out, forced to pop the BKB up on that top lane. And I guess I'm showing that I'm a little bit tired here, sorry guys, losing control of my map awareness. So I have missed 1 or 2 kills, I'm really sorry about that. It looks like the split push is, well, not a split push, but it's going to be a push up on top. Nope. KYXY immediately forced back into TP back to the fountain. They've still got that wall of replica available, and with that side, well, with that gank from the smoke in the side there, fairly ballsy, but able to get a few pickups, get a fairly even trade out of that. But with a head-on confrontation, I'm not sure if they have the same potential. Yamate's going to be able to pick up this tower up on top. Not going to bait out any TPs. Might go for the racks right now. It's gonna be whoever goes up onto the high ground first. So Yamate able to pick up that tower. He's going to continue to push. And this is sort of making a little bit of a window for MUFC. They need to go now, or they need to send someone back to deal with this anti-mage, and he is just going straight for the tower. Going to be tanking that up with the heart, and looks like MUFC actually going to be backing off. No, they're faking it. They're going back. They're smoking up, trying to see if anyone is going to leave the base. And Yamate maybe going to be able to pick up this tier 3 tower. Ohio actually has the Nyx bomb there. They're looking to wrap all the way around on Yamate, but he's just hiding up in the trees right now. Going to be able to pick up the tier 3 before there is any aggression at all on him. So tier 3 picked up, now going for the racks. Going to take a little bit of damage. In comes Ohio, reveals himself off. Where was the Nyx dropped off there? And actually dropped off by the double damage rune. So picks that up. Infest going to be on cooldown for a little bit, and Orange buy themselves some time. And Yamate continues to farm. He's going to have that Butterfly fairly soon. Probably expecting it to be a Butterfly. BKB going to be cancelled off. Well, not cancelled, but stunned through by the Abyssal Blade. So not a huge help there. And Butterfly going to afford him a little bit more damage. And again, the ability to just stand up to that Nyx, at least until he gets a Monkey King bar. And he's actually opted for an AC, so Good choice, does even better with the pushing. He's still got that DD for a few seconds. And MUFC might just try and leverage that to go up onto the high ground. But in comes the chain stun. Chucky and Kane getting low. In comes the Chen ultimate. Plus the Veil of Discord in over the top, doing huge damage. Ice already picked off. Yamate fighting in the Macro Power 4 now. The Wall of Replica is down, holding back MUFC for now, but they are already on the high ground. Ken right-clicking on that tier 3 tower, gonna stun up Yamate, gonna be looking for a bash as well. He's already used the Abyssal Blade, popping out the BKB. Now in comes the stun, Sharky getting low. Yamate comes in for him, but Ohio now right-clicking away. Yamate does not have an Aegis, he doesn't have anything to keep himself alive. If he gets stunned down here, he goes down, he buys back. In comes KOX, where they've still got that wall for a few seconds. The second Hand of God pumps off now. Chen ultimate doing some good work and keeping everyone alive there, in fact. And Orange, I think they're all out of tricks. Yamate's already bought back one. If he gets stunned up again, he will be going down here. No bash there. Ken actually just cleaning out the illusion. The 2-3 is going to fall. In comes Yamate one more time, looking for the stun. He gets bashed. In comes the vacuum. Not quite able to connect it with that storm bolt. And Yamate now stuck. He's going to get stunned one more time. Is he going to be picked off? No, he's able to blink out. The Laguna Blade flies. Doesn't pick off anyone. Yamate goes down. He doesn't have buyback. That's 90 seconds, a minute and a half with no anti-mage. This is looking like game. Beyond Godlike on the Queen of Pain. Going to get that scream off onto the ethereal Lena. She's going to be picked off. And Mushi going down as well. Triple kill for Ohio. GG going to be called by Orange. But well played by Orange. They held on for a very long time there, but in the end, just being a little bit overwhelmed by MUFC. A lot of unfortunate deaths fairly early for the Darkseer up on that top lane. KYXY, not really misplays, but the smoke ganks connecting every single time. And even once he came down into the neutrals to try and just jungle up a bit, the aggression came around, looping all the way around up from that top lane. And that could have really come down to warding, I suspect. I should have kept a better eye on that, but unfortunately with the minimap icons being the way that they are, I just wasn't really paying as much attention as I probably should have been. But anyway, GG's been called. I'll probably wait for the final score screen just for the sake of the VOD. But I can actually just skip forward to that right now. So it's going to give the victory to Orange, but it's actually a victory for MUFC. So it's going to say Radiant Victory. That's unfortunate. There was a console command that the admins could have used to award the victory correctly, but regardless, final score screen is up. Okay, so anyway, this has been a game from the Gigabyte Esports Dota 2 tournament. I was Basskip. This was game 1 of the grand finals between Orange and MUFC. This is a best of 5 set. This is part of my daily casting practice series again. I just want to give one more quick plug to the Dota 2 Cast It subreddit. I'll probably leave a link in the description or something like that, so you guys can go and check that out. Please post your replays. If you want, I will definitely cast them. If you want me specifically to cast them, then feel free to send me an email, leave a comment maybe on this video. I'm pretty much checking all avenues of communication constantly. So if you'd like me specifically to cast a replay, I'm happy to do that. Like I said, I'm doing practice every single day, and this is part of that set. But anyway, before I ramble on all too much, thanks guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.